Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Magnetdale.
And I'm not Jane Aerith Magnetdale. And welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Another one?
Yeah, it's a podcast. We're here on it, talking about stuff what we like.
Yeah.
And usually it's media of varying kinds.
We're here, we're queer, we done a media.
Yeah. What you been playing this week?
Oh, it's not been a big played week. I've
No?
been super busy working on...
You've been making a game rather than playing one.
Yeah, I've been making a game rather than playing one, so it's been a lot of futzing around with...
Why does my code
with
not
Pico
work?
8. Why does my code not work? Oh, I can't work out why my code doesn't work. I will go to bed and sleep on it, and then I will lie there for 3 hours and work it out in pseudocode.
I set a bit of code to make this number 0, and then later, without changing that, I made a bit of code to make the number go up and down. Why does it keep being 0?
Oh, yes, my debug thing. Yes. Yes, I was trying to simulate some changes to the system,
Yeah.
and it turned out that I wasn't accounting for when that debug code was happening, which meant that my fix for that didn't work. But I had written some fabulous code that worked almost immediately as soon as I stopped fucking it up.
Hooray
Not
for
only had I made it
coding.
good, I'd had enough time to go through it multiple times and really streamline it into some of the best code in the entire game.
Ah, this has been a fun journey to be present for.
I mean, you were around when I was making FestiQuest. That was
Yeah,
when we first moved in here.
indeed.
I took a year to make a video game, and then
Yeah.
3 people played it.
I was one of them.
You were.
I played it.
Still available to patrons
Yeah.
if you're interested.
You've been making little Bridge Commandy video game.
Yeah, a little
And
Bridge Command video game for
more-
when I'm not playing Bridge Command.
More mechanics are functional.
Yeah. Well, although some of the old ones are broken now.
The joys of coding.
Mhm.
Should we talk about the thing we played together at the weekend?
Yes,
Or
let's
one of
do
the
that.
things.
Let's do that.
Which one? Should we do the board game or the video game we played together?
Let's start with the board game.
We played the Bordeaux expansion for Viticulture.
Bordeaux expansion,
Yes.
because it's a new board.
It's a new board. Fundamentally, it is the same game. We've talked about Viticulture before. It is a board game about making wine.
Making wine
You-
over multiple years.
Yeah, you invest in infrastructure, you plant grapes in your field, you grow your grapes, you make your wines, you sell them to customers. This changes some mechanics.
Quite a few.
Yeah, what are the main ones?
Well, the
There's-
main one is the experts you can hire, which gives
Yeah.
you a bonus for using certain cubes, for using certain positions on the board.
Yeah,
You get 4 of them at the start, and in a 2-player game, it's quite easy to just go, well, I will just get the things I want. And I kind of rushed this. I was like, I'm gonna...
You had the first opportunity to get one, and you took definitely the best space. on the
I
board.
took one that I think was most useful to me because the number of times we have played Viticulture and I haven't been able to sell wine because you had taken the sell wine spot. And also it was giving me additional residuals, so it made doing slightly cheaper to produce wines more worth it. Because I was always guaranteed to get at least 2 residuals as long as I used that space, rather than being an absolute arse and standing on the the regular one and not using that. But yeah, you get 4 of those, and I'd used all of mine within the first 4 years.
Yeah, I was a little slower getting mine out, but, so yeah, it's basically, if I go to this place, some bonus effect will happen because I invested earlier in the game, and I think this is a space I'll go to frequently.
Yes.
There is a trading location where you can trade X number of one resource for X number of a different one.
Yeah, so
But-
it could be 2 cards for 2 cards, it could be 2 cards for a victory point.
One grape for a victory point. There's a whole bunch of different trades you can do, but you put like a little bead on there when you do the trade.
At the intersection where the thing happened.
Yeah, to be like, you no longer can trade that for that now, because it's covered up. And then also there's just some fundamental, like, changes to the things offered on the board, that make it a little less likely in our experience that you're going to get boxed out of being able to do the most important things on the board.
Yeah.
There's multiple locations on the board throughout the year to harvest your fields,
Yes.
rather than, like, in the base game, it is almost mandatory that you build your yoke in case someone harvests
Yes.
before you get a chance to.
Yeah, and I think that plays into the vibe that they'd said that specifically one of the goals with this expansion was making wine like the most relevant strategy, because I can see how that hadn't always necessarily been the case, despite intentions, because especially in 2-player, if you don't get the spaces you need, then you are kind of fucked.
And, like, I appreciate that this new board has, like, you go to this location and you spend 1 lira to do the action of literally any space on the board, even if it's already been visited.
Yep.
So you've got, like, this backup option, on top of, like, your grande worker you always had that you could just send to a place even if it was already busy. You've got, like, 2 additional ways to go to a place that's already taken, just to minimize the chance of I can't get anything done this year, because the thing I needed to do for everything else to happen, someone got there first, I guess I'm just fucked.
It all feels like it is designed for a slightly shorter game as well, because the taking 7th position on the wake up track means you get an extra worker specifically for that year, but it usually just means that you end up in the in the fastest space next year. And that is usually just advantageous from the point of you get to do your first action next season. But this time it's added, you will get rewards, but not only that, everyone will get rewards. So everyone will get like a level 1 grape. Everyone will age all grapes, I think it is. Everyone will age all wines is the last one. And technically, because everyone's getting it, it's like no real boost to anyone.
Yeah.
But being able to just go, like, I've actually got some grapes and some wines kicking about through no action of my own, really does hurry some things up a bit.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's not a radically different version of the game, but it feels like one that does a lot of balance tweaks that I appreciated.
It certainly feels like you can get locked out of the game, especially in 2-player, a lot less easily.
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about the other thing I subjected you to?
Yeah, we can do that. We played Normality.
We did. We played Normality.
The point-and-click adventure game.
3D point-and-click adventure game from Gremlin Graphics.
Yeah, a first-person 3D point-and-click adventure game that is perhaps the most Gen X video game I've ever played. You play as a lad with, like, scruffy orange hair and a little beard, who's like,
like board shorts.
Yeah. I live in a world where, like, having emotions and, like, being unique has been outlawed, and, like, you could get arrested for whistling, like, a little tune that's not even a good one. It's just, like, a shit one I made up. And definitely not actually a tune I quite like that I stole from some artist. Don't worry about that. But, like, even whistling a shitty little tune can get you arrested. What are they, the Thought Police?
Yes, literally they are the Thought Police.
I gotta go liberate everyone by telling them the idea that is, have a thought. Be original. Oh, man. Don't let the man get you.
And then go trawling through the sewers in pursuit of hallucinations.
Yeah.
Like a yellow submarine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then encounter some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turds.
Yeah, it's very Gen X. It's very of its era.
It's so silly.
It is unapologetically a thing of its time.
Mm-hmm.
It ends kind of abruptly and kind of out of nowhere.
That's all the rendering they could afford.
That's all the rendering they could afford. Be cautious if you get motion sick, because the head bob is wild.
And it cannot be turned off.
It cannot be turned off. Also, some of the logic is, a stretch.
I've played through this game several times and I still have to look for a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Although it was quite nice to get the, so there is a section where there is a fork at the end of the game. where you are in the ordinary outpost trying to free the brother of the Big Brother character. The brother of Big Brother. The little brother, I guess. You're trying to free him from Thought Prison.
Yeah.
And there's a section where you get caught, and one version where you get thrown in prison as Kent, the main character. And Kent has to do this whole thing where he's being sucked in and out of tubes, and in going into different rooms and trying to solve puzzles, which, if you don't know what you're doing, can be really frustrating. Because you've got to, like, wander around, try and find all the bits you need to do to solve the puzzle. And if you've, like, got most of it, like, you've worked most of the puzzle out, but not all of it, it can just be a waiting game of, well, I need to get sucked back to literally the last room I was in, which might be, like, 4 rooms from now. Which could take a little while, because you don't control when you get sucked into the tube again. You're just taken off for, like, more mental reconditioning and spat out in a different room. And that whole sequence can get quite frustrating. But we managed to do it in such a way where we ended up being on, like... We were still undercover as a cop, as a norm trooper, but not in a way that was... We were basically just on punishment detail.
Yeah.
And, we managed to get through that quite quickly without too much pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure was a memorable experience. It was a unique point and click.
It certainly is that thing, yes. But, so this is your first time playing it, right?
Yes, this is completely new to me.
And you initially struggled a bit with the voodoo doll control.
The fucking...
Your verb system.
Yeah, the verb system is every time you want to pick up a thing, or use a thing, or
open or put your mouth on or look out.
You pull out this toy and select limbs on it.
And it looks like you, without a shirt on.
Yeah.
And the open is a door in the chest.
It's a lot to take in.
It didn't help that you were quite sleepy as well, so I'd watch you just, like, you'd start getting a little bit aimless on where your mouse control was, and then you'd, like, right-click to bring up the verb system, and then you just sort of sit there, and I'm like, I think she's fallen asleep again. So I had to stare at this uncanny thing.
Well, part of it is, when I get motion sick, my body's defense mechanism is go sleepy mode. It's why you put me in a car and I fall asleep consistently, so my body's just like, ooh, gotta zone out of the... Gotta go...
I need to go into cryostasis during this journey.
Right, I've got to go into cryostasis so that I don't become nauseous. At any time I was, like, clicking to pull up that doll, my brain was going like, okay, we're free. Okay, just take a break from all this for a second. Reset. I had a memorable time with it. I am glad to have been playing it with a walkthrough being read to me.
Yeah. And there were a couple of points where I was like, I'm just going to read this to you and tell you exactly what to do, rather than letting you have a little bit of a fumble around, because this one is just too bullshit.
Yes.
And the main one of that is shredding the evidence in the shredder.
Oh, that,
because I think that's how you end up getting arrested.
Okay.
If they can tie the crime of painting the waffle to you.
Oh.
Then you get arrested, but as it was, we've managed to do the right thing. Because the number of times I've done this game, done it wrong, got arrested, and looked at walkthroughs, and all the walkthroughs are for the other branch of this, and just going, no, I need the other one. How do I get out of prison? We'll never tell.
No one ever goes to prison.
No one goes to prison. Everyone does the game correctly. We're not
even convinced you can go to prison. How does one even do that in this game?
I didn't do the evidence properly. It's a silly game. I still kind of want an I am fat shirt. Because you cannot argue with the written word.
You cannot argue with the written word. Some of the writing is pretty charming.
Yes. I like D for dog. That was the first time I encountered the D for dog joke. I have since encountered several other people trying to do that joke, like it's their own creation. It's parallel thinking. But they're always a little bit disappointed when I go, yeah, there was a game from 1993 that had exactly that joke in it. Oh, soz. Have you considered C for cat? That way, you don't have a dog. Yeah, so that was normality. We played all the way through it in one afternoon. This is the first time I played it in 6 years, apparently.
Yeah.
So that I guess was good to know too.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel that long. I definitely streamed it last time I played it.
Yeah.
Which means I've been streaming for longer than I thought, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 6 years was the start of COVID, so we were here. So, yeah, wow.
It was a period of time, yeah.
Tempers sure do be fugiting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while I ponder my mortality, darling, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I played a game that you watched portions of me playing on the Switch. You sort of
Yes.
tuning in and out of me playing.
Yeah.
I played a game on Switch 2 called And Roger.
Oh, tough play.
Yeah, the game warns you up front, hey, maybe don't play this if you're in an emotionally vulnerable place and you're not ready for it, and that warning is very deserved.
Yep.
This game is about an hour long. It is not by the people who made Florence, but it's got the vibes of Florence for anyone who ever played that, which is like a 45-minute long game about the birth and death of a romantic relationship between two people, told through like little mini-game interactions. This is that, but the first-person perspective story of a woman with dementia.
Yes.
Told through the eyes of someone who is very confused about what is happening around them.
Where they are, what they are, how old they are at times.
Yeah. So, a lot of the interaction points in this game are deliberately hard to interact with basic everyday interactions.
Yes.
Such as, hey, I'm trying to brush my teeth and there are 4 unlabeled buttons on the screen. One of them is swap what's in my right hand, one's swap what's in my left hand, one is put the thing on from my left hand in the right hand, so like put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, and one is put it under the water, and one button maybe is like put it in your mouth and start brushing. But none of them are labelled, so you start trying to do this very basic activity and you're doing it in the wrong order and getting frustrated. Things sometimes get harder when you're more stressful, so maybe if you're trying to do that same activity when stressed and overwhelmed and anxious, there's now more buttons and the buttons are moving around, so by the time
sometimes they're just falling off as you go towards them.
Yeah, but like even before you get to that, sometimes it'll be like, okay, cool, it's the 4 buttons that do brushing my teeth, except they're moving, so by the time I've gone and clicked that button to do that step, I can't remember what button does the next bit because it's moved, and I can't be certain which one's which anymore.
Yeah.
I might do it in the wrong order.
And then the one that I think really got me was the trying to open a door.
Yes!
And, all of the buttons are moving. And every time you click on something that seems vaguely right, you're hammering on the door, not opening it. And it takes you, a good minute and a half of, randomly clicking on these things that are buttons that are running away from you, or moving, or, dropping off as you get to them. And then eventually the door handle appears.
Yeah, part of it is finding the button that makes the door that is remember momentarily where the door handle is. And then you have to do a separate button to turn the door handle, or you forget where the door handle is again.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yes.
Narratively, it explores, I think, quite well, both sides of the experience of a woman with a degenerative mental health disability and the person she lives with.
Yes.
In a way that I think does a decent job of of giving space for both of them to have difficulty and to have aspects that are stressful about what they're experiencing.
Yes.
While not vilifying either half or being like, well, you've got it harder.
Yes.
It makes space for, this is a journey these two are going through together, and it is stressful and distressing in understandable ways for them both.
Yeah.
One that I think about in the middle of this is dinner it was meant to be soup, and it gets spilled on the kitchen floor, and Roger is clearing up the soup in the kitchen, and you've spilt some. When the soup was spilt, some of it got on your clothes. So you're trying to go and clean up, and you go to the bathroom, and while trying to do, because you're like really stressed and anxious because like something went wrong and your husband's frustratedly having to clear it up, you're now struggling to do basic activities in the bathroom and then trying to clean up after yourself where things have gone wrong and making further messes and getting more upset and more frustrated. And the cascade of, I'm just trying to do a basic thing and then if I fuck it up, I'll clean up after myself, is getting harder and harder. And like, that's really, like, from a first-person perspective, that's really overwhelming and distressing, and like, you can completely understand why it would be stressful to be like, I'm just trying to go and pee and wash my hands and like, wipe up where some mess has been made. But from the husband's perspective, it's equally understandable to go, I'm cleaning up the last mess that was made, and I look over there, and you're making...
The entire bathroom
and you're
is
making
trashed.
the entire bathroom is a mess. And, like, I just asked you to just stand there for a minute. And it's like, no, from her perspective, she was just like, it's okay. It's such a basic thing. I'll just do the basic thing. Oh no, everything's going wrong. It is an effective narrative that would not be nearly as effective if it was non-interactive. I think the choice to have portions where you do not recognize the person you are with or the place where you are, very effective. It is very easy to get very frustrated with Roger as a character and his not very well handling his wife. I think a lot about the frequency with which he just hands her pills and tells her to take them, and when she's confused,
and at one point just starts trying to shove them in her face.
Yeah, she's just asking very basic questions of like, what is it? Why do I need to take it? And he's just frustratedly like, you have to take it. You have to. It's good for you. Take it. Do it. You're a strange man I don't recognize telling me to take a pill I don't understand why I'm taking. Give me something to work on.
Yes.
But again, you see enough of it to go like, I can see how you got there.
Yeah.
I can see how if you've had this conversation many times, you might just try and shortcut it. I think it ends in a sweet place, but there's a journey to get there.
And I think they should give this game to all of the people who watched and nodded along to that advert of, Mum's been dead for years. That's the real thing of Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
That was a constant fucking advert in the cinema last year.
Yes. This is a much more respectful...
Yes.
It's like, it is not only very respectful of why it is so distressing for the person going through it to be going through it, but also of the journey that the partner who is committed to being with this person has to go through of like, I have to understand this is where you're at and I've got to meet you there. If you've got an hour and feel up to it, the game's like £3 and it is incredibly effective. It's a damn masterpiece. It is.
Strong recommend.
It's a very recommendable thing if you are in the right brain space to spend an hour in the perspective of someone who is very confused and overwhelmed.
So now you've played this, would you say video game can be art?
I think they've been can be art for a while,
and
but
the video game doesn't have to be fun?
Video game doesn't have to be fun. Video game can sometimes be, I'm desperately fumbling at the phone trying to call the emergency services because I don't know why there's this strange man here who's not my dad. That can be video games.
That can be video games.
That can be video games.
Simply allow that to be video games.
Sometimes video games is, I'm gonna go on a fetch quest to try and find a bakery I remember the smell of, because that feels safe. It feels safer than wherever the fuck I am right now.
I know, I rely on my sense of smell and sometimes a bakery.
Have you played anything else this week?
That's kind of it for me. I mean, you already talked about it quite extensively on Podquisition. We have both played Mugenics.
We have, yeah.
How
are you getting on with Mugenics?
I haven't played a huge amount of it because, as I said, I've been working on my own game and I tend to play a lot less during such times because my brain is, I'm solving this puzzle, not those puzzles. But what I've played, I have enjoyed, and I do agree with something that Ed said on the Geekenders podcast.
Yeah, this would be Ed McMillan, the creator.
Yes, talking about, like, wanting this to be yes, it has a lot of the things of a like a tactics game. But it's not chess.
Yeah.
It's a lot more forgiving than most tactics games would be.
Yes.
Yes, it is entirely possible to get your party wiped, but since your cats will only ever go on one run, it doesn't matter.
Yes, you can be a bit creative with your builds, because win or lose, I'll be trying with a fresh build from scratch next run anyway.
I'll be retiring these cats, possibly handing them in to get more furniture.
Putting them down the pipe.
Putting them down the pipe.
Yeah.
Simply put the science cat down the pipe to go to the supermarket so that I can have plant pots in my house. Simply that. Surely.
Yeah.
I am enjoying the game for all the because I got this quite early, and the fact that, like, initially I couldn't get through the tutorial, and I was like, oh god, is this going to be another Ed McMullen thing of I'm putting a game out and it's not going to be finished until, like, 2 years from now.
Yes, we had it about 3 weeks early, I think.
We had it about 3 weeks early, and for the first week I kept trying to play it and not being able to get through stuff. And then, like, there were updates basically every day.
Yeah.
And by the time I'd sort of had some time to sit down and, like, seriously put some effort into it, I had a really good time. I played, like, a bunch of hours of this. I can see myself playing a whole bunch more, especially if it is Super Steam Deck compatible. I have not tried that yet. But yeah, it's a fun, lightweight, tactics-style RPG with a lot of the silly / gross stuff you expect from an Ed McMullen game. And I can see, like, the fact that it's very playable, as is. It feels like the first complete Ed McMullen game for launch that I've ever played. And I realised that some of that seemingly did only come in the last, like, month before release. But having played, like, original Binding of Isaac with only, like, 4-way controls and no joysticks. Back in my day when we had to use Joy 2 key.
Back in my day.
Before we got, like, the new version of Binding of Isaac and then all of the fucking DLC. Bumbo didn't feel, like, super...
This definitely feels the most complete release.
And I think some of that comes to something else that Ed said in that Geekenders video or podcast, talking about, like, this is the game he'd always wanted to make. And everything else had been learning to make video games so that he could make this game. And given how complete this one feels as an experience, I can definitely see that a lot of that learning has come together to make this.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to make a roguelite, so I made one of the most popular roguelites in order to understand how a roguelite do, so that I can make this one. This other roguelite I'm making. I mean, I guess, yeah, cool, nice work, amazing.
Sure, Ed.
Yeah, very much enjoying Mugenics. It's good, silly fun. With cats.
Yeah.
Science cats.
The only other stuff I've been playing I can very quickly touch on. I tried the Switch 2 demo for Pragmata. That's a real engaging demo that's got me very interested in that game.
Do you pipe mania while doing third-person FPS?
Yeah, third-person shooter where you play as, like, a spaceman and you've got, like, a robot child girl on your back, and the robots you're shooting in space, they're all closed up and hard to deal damage to. You gotta use the girl. You have
to make them emotionally available.
You gotta use the girl to hack them in a minigame to open the cavity up so that you can start shooting at the exposed bits.
I see.
By doing your A, B, X, and Y buttons, move a block around, and when you get to the green square, it'll successfully hack, but you can go to other coloured squares along the way to, like, extend how long the hack lasts for, or do other effects as well. You've got to avoid the red squares, they'll end your hack prematurely. It is juggle a basic puzzle game with a third-person shooter. It's real fun. Very arcade feeling. It reminds me a lot of stuff like Vanquished from the early 360 era. That very character action shooter from the early 360 days. Very enjoyable. Switch 2 build of it is great. It looks fantastic, runs at a solid 60. It's one of the nicest looking games I've played on Switch 2. Very much on my radar. And I played the demo for Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. This is the choose-your-own-adventure Star Trek game that is retelling the story of Voyager, but you are doing, like... So, gameplay-wise, you've got, like, top-down tactical maps, and you're doing, like, which planets we're going to fly to, or what resources we're looking for, what will we scan, and you'll sometimes end up going to locations that you went to in Star Trek Voyager, as the Voyager crew. The difference being, you can choose to make different choices to what were made in Voyager, and those will, at some point later, have consequences. And the one of these that I was sold on was the fact that you can make the choice to not separate Tuvix back into two people. You can leave them as one person, and that is my primary motivation for playing the game.
That's your prime directive.
That's my prime directive. There's some other gameplay bits I've started seeing crop up that are to do with, like, ship management, where I'm like...
ship management makes me think of something like Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, it's got those vibes. I'm not very far into the demo right now, and mostly so far it's been like, we got thrown to the Delta Quadrant, and most of the ship is broken. We have limited resources, and we're trying to prioritize which rooms of the ship to get back up and running. So, like, I had to slowly fly around the first galaxy, scanning planets to find ones that would have the resources I needed to rebuild the engineering bay, which was going to make repairing other stuff easier. This was, like, stuff to do in between the narrative bits.
You weren't looking for life forms? Those tiny little life forms? Those precious little life forms?
Not yet. So yeah, I'm enjoying what I've played of the demo so far. The demo is enough for me to go, yeah, I'm excited to play this when it comes out in, like, 2 weeks. I was a little disappointed at lack of voice acting. There's voice acting for some, like, beginning and end of chapter logs read by Lieutenant Harris and Kim. Their voice actors come back to read some, like, logs at the start and end of some sections.
Timothy Paris.
Yeah, largely unvoice acted, which is a little disappointing, but I'm still looking forward to playing it. But that's basically everything I've played this week.
Well,
time for this.
Can you just grab some jam out of the cupboard for me, please?
Sure. Sorry,
It's homemade.
yeah, about that. Why did that jar of homemade jam start whispering nonsense and trying to do weird stuff to my hand?
Were there any mentions of King Solomon?
Yes.
Right, okay, don't worry about it, that's just a mason jar. Hey, Laura.
Yes?
We've got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, do you sometimes go, important thing, I got a password for that.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, shit, I haven't logged into it for a while. I've been, like, stayed logged into it for a while.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about my password. I've stayed logged into it for a while.
Yeah.
Now I need to log into it on, like, new phone, new device, new computer, something like that. Oh, shit, I don't remember what it is.
Oh, no. Oh.
You gotta...
It's gonna be a whole faff that I don't actually know my password.
Right? Well, what do you always have with you, though?
My anxiety.
Almost. This week's sponsor is bloodpass.lol.net.
Oh, I do have my blood with me all the time, I suppose.
Use your blood as your account password. Never get locked out of another account again. Keep your secrets safe. Keep your secrets.
I mean, I suppose I do always have my blood with me.
Keep it safe with your literal life.
No one else has my blood other than occasionally my GP.
Ah, so you think your GP might be trying to hack you?
Oh god, my GP
You used to donate blood as well.
Yeah.
You're just giving away your passwords.
Oh no, it's like, the doctor's going to take some vials of blood for some blood tests. Oops, they took one extra vial so they could hack into my bank or something.
I can't believe they hacked into your bank like this. So this is bloodpass.lol.net. Enter the code ONEG and you can get 15% off your first year of Blood Pass. Apparently it's also a subscription service, so...
Oh god, this is going to make mugging so much worse when they can just stab me and then dip the phone in my blood to log in.
Stab you, and then take the knife to the bank and go, I would like to steal. I would like to take all of my money out of my account. Here is my blood to prove it.
Ah, fuck.
I don't think they thought this through, this blood pass concept. Also, I used it earlier, and there appear to be demons crawling out of my PC now.
That's just the risks of new technology.
Oh, all right then. So, what have you put in your eyes or ears?
Stuff we've put in our eyes and ears we can talk about.
Yes.
We watched a couple of films at the weekend.
We did.
Do you have
Should
one
we
of
do
these?
them in order?
I'm trying to remember which one we watched
watched
first.
The Day the Earth Blew Up first.
Yeah. Do you want to start talking about this because this is your first time seeing it?
So this is the Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, Looney Tunes movie that's Warner Brothers shelved for a tax break, as far as I can tell.
They released it in the United States, but not in the UK, like 2 years ago.
And not in very many theatres, I believe.
Yeah, it was a very limited run in the US, and then never a release in the UK, and it was unclear why, and then 2 years later it finally got a handful of UK showings.
Yeah, it's currently listed as a preview, so I don't know if it's going to have like a much bigger release at some point soon, but yeah, it was a good watch. There's a couple of bits that feel very much of the of classic Looney Tunes, and not necessarily for the best, but as a piece of animation, like the backgrounds are beautifully, there's a real texture to it, a lot of like real hand-drawn vibes in different places. The story's very silly. Every single gun of Chekhov's gets a little payoff.
Yeah, it is. There is no wasted space in it, but everything is a setup for later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even sort of fairly throwaway things seem very like they do get some sort of callback somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting villain. Even when we were like, I think there's an entirely different villain here.
Gorgeous animation style.
Oh yeah,
to
great
it.
animation. Like there's one I particularly remember of this kid at the end going wow, and it's just the way the O-shaped mouth moves like around the face in like it's orbiting.
It occasionally will throw just something unusual animation-wise that is not consistent with the rest of the art style in a way that's very memorable.
It reminded me of, and it is from original like Looney Tunes stuff, but it reminded me. It always reminds me of the fact that Ren and Stimpy used to do this thing of like close-up shots of like hero shots of people that were all like beautifully airbrushed and stuff.
Yeah.
And like Farmer Jim from the beginning is very much that.
Yes, very much the polished background art from a Ren and Stimpy as a character.
Yeah, like we absolutely cannot animate this thing. We're going to have like a little mouth over the top of it that moves, and that's about it.
But we're going to have like 20 highly impressive drawings of the thing that we can swap as poses.
And then we're going to make a joke about that.
The little bouncing walk
The bouncing walk,
animation.
because you can see, like, there's a real close-up where it obviously doesn't matter, because that is kind of the action that part of that body would move. Like, maybe there'd be a bit more swinging of arms, but no. And then it just cuts to a wide shot of the character still moving in this uppy-downy, like, on a stick.
The fight scene animation to music in that film is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is a film that has no
Fun
wasted
musical
space.
choices.
It is a film that I would say there is no good point to pee.
As someone who had to pee for most of that film, and ended up going about the point that the plot was kind of revealed. Yeah, kinda.
The plot, you know, you're not going to miss too much plot-wise, but there's never a down moment in the animation that's like, I feel like I can walk away and not miss something cool.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, I foolishly drank a bucket of coffee with breakfast, and then we went out to see this film, and I was like, okay, well, I'll give it like 20 minutes because that'll be the intro. That'll be all the setup for the film, and I'll need all of that information. So I can't pee now. And then it was like just best part of an hour of animation that was absolutely beautiful. I was like, I'm seeing in sepia. I have to go. I realised we were about to get an explanation of how the world is going to be saved, but
yeah.
I gotta go.
I genuinely think that's the mark of a great film, where you put it off that much because you're like, yeah, but I can't. Even for just a sprint, I'll be gone less than a minute. Can't do it.
Oh, that wasn't gone less than a minute. Oh God, buckets.
So yeah, I saw a version of this at a point where it did not look like it was ever going to come to the UK.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I went and saw it a second time on a big screen. It deserved a proper big screen viewing experience.
Yeah.
And then we went and saw a delightful film, Send Help.
Send Help!
A Sam Raimi film that...
I still think they should have called it Send Heppel.
It's quite fun sometimes to just watch a woman have a lot of fun acting out a descent into her worst instincts.
See, the thing is, like, I'm not going to spoil it, but it doesn't turn to the worst of her instincts until, like, he started it. He started all of the bad stuff.
I don't know. She had an opportunity for him to for the film to end very early that she didn't take. But I agree. She does the worst of what she does is not until he starts. He does it first. He's the problem first, kind of.
Because up until that point, every time that, like, every time that he's gone, oh, I'm just going to go off and do my own thing. Fuck you. I'm going to start a big fire, and I'm going to write help on the sand or Heppel.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And she's like, okay, and then just leaves him to it. And 2 days later, he's nearly dead again.
Yeah. So, for context, woman is up for a promotion. New boss comes in. Passes her up for her promotion to promote his frat guy friend.
He plays golf with.
And then plane crash happens and the two of them are stranded.
Yes.
And now it's, hey, woman who you passed over for the VP role.
And laughed at the fact that she wanted to be on Survivor because she's read loads of survival books.
Yeah, now she knows how to survive and you keep being like, no, I'm the boss, I'm in charge, remember who's in charge.
We're not in the office anymore.
Okay, fine, you try and keep yourself alive for a day or two. I'm so hungry and tired and thirsty, please let me back in the camp. Okay. And then there is a turning point and that film goes wild.
Yes.
I will say, for about half of that film, if not for the one scene where she had an opportunity to end the film and chose not to, you could almost watch the first half of this film as quite a sincerely sweet love story, like a rom-com building. Other than, like, okay, I know that she's villainous. I know that she's done a thing that, like, is unforgivable. But if I can just, like, ignore that scene, this is quite a sweet rom-com. Oh, this has become the opposite of a rom-com very fast at the midway point.
To the point where there were about 20 minutes sort of in the second half of this film where I was genuinely concerned that they were going to turn it around to be like, actually, he's the hero of this film. She's the villain.
No, and look, she's never the hero. She is definitely the villain.
She saved him from when he had his broken leg. He'd never have survived that, and it's a sign of culture that a broken leg survives.
I loved watching this for the same reason that I find Death Note engaging to watch. Sometimes it's just enjoyable to watch a person make terrible decision after terrible decision after terrible decision, digging themselves deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole while trying to desperately cling to control of a situation. It's more fun to watch that when it's a woman doing it. And it's a woman being her worst self. Because look, my brand of feminism is occasionally I get to watch a woman be the absolute fucking worst and go, yes, queen, slay, girl boss,
she might
feminism. That's a really fun film.
It's a really good film.
It gets a bit...
There are two direct looks at the camera that were a bit cheesy.
I think it earned them.
But, like... Sam Raimi, you cheeky little scab.
There's a couple of blood and gut moments that are a little squeamishy.
Yeah, if you don't like eye stuff, there is a scene in this that you might struggle with.
If you don't like vomit, you might struggle a bit with.
I don't like vomit, but I've done almost exactly that thing while trying to save somebody's life, so I kind of found that funny.
It's just fun to watch a woman be very in control of a situation, even when arguably she shouldn't be.
I think she was the best qualified for it. She had her Timothée moment.
It was. Is this an artistic masterpiece? I don't know. I think it was delightfully fun.
It was great fun.
This would be a great film to watch drunk with like 6 female friends and be like,
I think you should watch it with the nerds.
I kind of want to
rewatch
it drunk with the nerds. I think it would be a great film for that.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, those are some films we watched.
Yeah, we did.
What about you? What you put in your eyes or ears this week?
We have restarted watching Star Trek Prodigy.
We've made it further.
And we've already gone further than we did before.
Yeah, so I started watching this for a reason.
Advertise.
Yeah.
Plug.
I'm currently working on a new video podcast with Jeffrey Bunting called Where Everybody Has Been Before. It is a Star Trek discussion podcast because the universe needs a couple of people sit around watching episodes of Star Trek and talking about them. Mm-hmm. We recognise it's not a new idea, but it's the one we're doing. And we span a random wheel. We're not always going to do that. Sometimes it'll just be episode I fancy watching, but we span a wheel with...
Otherwise you'd end up watching Enterprise far too often.
But yeah, we span a wheel of basically every Star Trek episode ever made, and it gave us a 2-parter at the end of Season 2 of Star Trek Prodigy, the final season of the Nickelodeon Netflix CGI animated children's Star Trek show.
That sure is a lot of words.
Yeah, it is. It's very much the the Clone Wars, that era of animated Star Trek children's show, Star Wars children's show, but the Star Trek one.
Yeah,
and I got to see where that show is going and get some context for what it's building to, and that made me all the more eager to start rewatching it, because by the end of my very light on spoilers. By the end of Season 2, this is basically Voyager Part 2.
Nice.
And that was motivation enough to go, I should have given this more of a chance when we tried to watch it before.
I think it didn't help watching it before that it was coming out week by week.
Yeah.
And we don't do terribly well with week by week unless it's quite a short season.
Yeah.
We tend to be more, we'll wait until everything's out, and then we'll watch it all in one lump.
Having been rewatching it with you from the start, I would say there is a definite quality bump around episode 8. The one where everyone was out of sync timeline-wise with each other.
That's fantastic.
With Rock being alone for a very long time trying to fix the ship. The first 7 or so episodes is a little bit random episode, story of the week, a little bit fart joke heavy, a little bit we're not really engaging with an overarching plot necessarily.
So it's Lower Deck Season 1.
But
it gets over that way quicker.
It's got a bit of the Lower Deck Season 1 problem. But yeah, I would say around that episode with Rock being alone on the ship for a while, it really found its footing and stepped up its quality quite dramatically. Really enjoyed the episode we watched tonight about the planet of the Enterprisians.
Yes.
Who their first contact was one red shirt got accidentally left behind on a first contact planet.
On a crashed ship.
And accidentally forever fundamentally changed to society.
And nearly poisoned them all to death.
Yep. I am enjoying the overarching threat and the starting to have interactions between actual Admiral Janeway and the crew that have started surfacing. Yes. It's getting all tense. It's getting good.
It's very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got main bad guy currently with the Federation. But
Indeed.
for how long?
Ooh. It starts a little so-so, but it's finding its footing. And considering it's only 20-minute episodes, if we say episode 8 is where it starts getting good, that's 2.5 hours in. That's not a huge commitment to get to where I think the quality picks up.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much enjoying it. Glad to be back.
Have you put anything else in your eyes or ears?
No, that's it for me.
Well then, time for this.
Inside the boardroom of Supremacy Software.
Hi.
Hi! Well, I am glad to be here. New year-ish. New me here. So, Supremacy Software, under new management.
I don't know what you mean. This is same old, right?
I don't know. I'm planning to taking the company in a bold new direction. And I think that starts with cuts.
Oh, wow. Never considered that before. Cuts?
I've looked at payroll. Payroll here numbers are very high for payroll. So I suggest we get rid of some of the devs. We need to slim that down.
I mean,
and we'll just get them to work twice as hard.
I mean, what if we got rid of even more of them and replace some of them with, unpaid interns? Bet no one's tried that yet.
What about if we get rid of even more of them and replace them with AI?
Oh, I like your thinking. We're speedrunning this. We are. We are getting through this quick.
We are. Yeah.
What if we overworked and underpaid everyone?
Oh, yeah. I love to hear that. What if we made sure that there were energy drink machines everywhere, but no other form of sustenance? And also we kept the devs in a section of the building that doesn't have any windows, so they can't ever tell what time of day it is.
And what if we only credited them in the game if they stick around for the entire development cycle, meaning that even if they're treated terribly, they won't leave, because if they do, they won't have any proof they worked on anything.
You are a fucking genius.
I know. Oh, hey, Smudge. Oh, hello. Oh, you come over to
She
this lap.
always comes to you. Like, I'll be lying there happily, she'll be sat on my titties, and as soon as you come lie down, she'll be like, better, mother.
I don't think it's better, mother.
Better, mother.
I do wish I knew the answer to the mystery of why she comes and sits on my lap all the time, but, we'll never get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
It's not like I put fish paste in my pockets and wipe chicken grease on my trousers before coming down from work.
In this vegan household.
In this vegan household, it's not like I do either of those things.
Maybe she's after the mystery cheese stingles. So I guess we'll never know the answer.
That's the answer to the mystery cheese singles. I had them in my pockets for Smudge.
Ah, there we go. Now we know the answer.
Listener, listen, I'm going to break the fourth wall. I sat down to pee the other night and there was just a pack of 10 cheese singles on the floor of the bathroom, despite the fact
devoid of cheese.
Yeah, I don't eat cheese. Jane, vegan, would not eat a dairy cheese.
No.
It had the energy of someone sat on the toilet just eating squares of cheese
away.
Eating their squares of cheese, despite the fact we've not had any visitors to the house in a couple of weeks.
Getting very worried about the landlord.
It's not like this could be an old thing that's just resurfaced, because
it was 2026
Yeah,
cheese.
it was this month. It was in-date cheese.
Oh, hang on, it was this month.
Yeah.
But it was that kind of cheese.
Yeah.
I feel like that cheese lasts forever.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's not the same as in America, but I feel like that cheese lasts. That cheese hasn't been made for 50 years.
Genuinely, I think there might be someone secretly living in the house eating cheese slices.
Nom, 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 nom. Well, so not that then. That's definitely not how you're expecting
I
Smudge.
didn't put the cheese slices in my pocket. Wink.
Well, I can't possibly be suspicious now that you've said wink aloud. Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Racial Justice Warriors.
Racial Justice Warriors?
Yeah.
Alright, Harry.
Right, mate. How you doing?
Oh, it's, a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot going on. We got our annual, mocking of the president during the Superb Owl. But,
yeah.
But, that was nice to see. Nice to see, although, obviously, that is how we found out that TikTok had blocked everyone in America. Every user in America seemingly blocked Bad Bunny on TikTok. No one in Europe, no one in the rest of the world. But seemingly,
Interesting.
every American US user had blocked Bad Bunny.
How very
Interesting that.
How
What have
very
you been up to,
curious.
Mish?
Oh, I've been reading some interesting stuff about politics, as I do, about the potential paths to de-radicalisation of the right and the roadblocks that exist for that. And there was an interesting thing I was reading that is like, I want to preface this. This is not me saying, oh, woe is people on the right, they have it so hard not being on the right anymore. But reading about some of the things that are barriers to getting people out of, like, the MAGA movement, for example.
Yeah.
And a big part of it is we live in a world that is very politically divided, and that particularly in the United States has become very our team versus theirs. And let's say you are someone on the, that is supporting a particularly far-right party. A lot of your social circle probably is wrapped up in that identity. If you start having your moment of, these policies are bad and terrible and I need to do something about it, this is not to say this justifies people who don't come around and change their minds. There is a very big barrier that exists of, if I admit that I was wrong about all of this, I'm going to be leaving this community. And admittedly, the left does sometimes have a bit of a problem with not being particularly welcoming to people who are like, hey, I was quite right-wing, I have come around on things, I am trying to be better, I would like to find community over here instead.
Yeah, and while, no one has any right to expect forgiveness immediately, you do, I think, have to allow space for people to, the left is supposed to be, the people who most believe in, like, the restorative justice and ability to, I was going to say re-educate. That's definitely not the word I want. But to allow people to grow and change and do better.
The left needs to have some room for, you are not perfect, but you are better than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And we have space for that.
Yeah, because I know that a lot of people in the early 2000s got to a position of, it's not my job to educate you.
Mm.
And for certain communities, that is certainly the case.
Yeah.
They have done more than enough. White left-wing people really need to do more to go, come on, you've done all that reading.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you've got the right idea. Take the effort to reach out to some of these people. Now, obviously, some of them are quite dangerous.
Yeah.
And, obviously, there is a big problem of just making them feel stupid. Your opinion is wrong. Your opinion is bad. You want, because, you don't believe that certain people have rights. Nothing should be discussed with you. But also, there needs to be at least some room for the people who are already starting to slip out of that need to be given space to fully come out of that. And, they're not going to find community everywhere, but they do need to be able to find some sort of community.
Yeah. Like, look, I get it that, like, on the further parts of the left, there is a real energy for that sort of purity politics of you're left, but you're not far left enough. And all I'm saying here is, if you're going to throw that energy around, throw it at other people who are quite far left who you can have those discussions with, maybe more than you throw it at people who are just making it out of the right and starting to come to the left, who, don't go scaring
them off. Yeah.
Don't go like, no, you are evil because you're not far left enough. It's like, no, it's great that you have come considerably further left than you were. That is great progress.
Not discouraging
Don't worry about us over here having a fight about, socialism versus leftism and the ideological differences between the two. That's for us to argue about. We're just glad you're coming over to our team.
Yeah, join us, more of us, and...
After you've done some reading, we might, criticise some of your positions, but we'll give you space to come onto the team first.
Yeah, I think that is probably the best thing. Join us in the holding pattern of safety. Welcome to provisional left. where you are, forgiven certain things, and people take the time to educate you and teach you new things, and like turn you on to different thoughts and different ideas, and also showing that we practice what we preach about making sure people are clothed and fed and housed, and that because your neighbour is brown does not take anything away from you, because your neighbour wasn't born in this country and fled a war that our government started. That doesn't make them any less of a human being.
I'm just having a thought. Do we need to create a shorthand term? Because the one that's jumping to my mind is I've got my leftist learner's permit right now. Look, I'm learning about your left-wing stuff. I might not be as far left as you. I might not get all the stuff right or know all the stuff. I've got, the L stands for leftist learner right now.
Yeah, you can have your leftist learner permit, and then you can have, your recently passed.
Yeah. We'll save some of the critique of your past behaviour for once you've gotten through the learner's permit. We'll give you some space to be on the team first.
Yeah, once you understand, we're not fully attacking you as a person.
Yeah.
We were attacking the ideologies and,
you passed your test. You got your full leftist driver's license. Okay, we'll be a little more, we'll get into some of the harder conversations now.
We'll get you on the hard stuff later. All good thoughts, mate.
Yeah.
Fancy a
hug. We're not going to solve this overnight, but I'd love a hug.
Good hug, mate. Good hug. Right, I'm going to pop the kettle on.
Sounds lovely.
So, Laura,
yes?
where can people find things like your new Star Trek video and such?
Well, you're not going to be able to find that Star Trek video for a little bit because we want to have a couple of episodes in the back pocket before we put them up. But when they do start going up, they're going to be on YouTube at Laura K. Buzz. The plan is for where everybody has gone before to be on alternating weeks with Control-Alt access. So on one week...
there's always content.
Yeah, on one Thursday you'll get a Control-Alt access with me and Arevia. The following Thursday you'll get me and Jeffrey talking Star Trek, back and forth between those two, so they'll both be on alternating weeks. If you want to support all the stuff I do, patreon.com/Laura K. Buzz. That's what pays the bills, but also you can subscribe there for free if you want to, and you'll get emails every time I post new stuff. It's probably the best place to keep up with what I'm up to. Laura K. Buzz, that's where all the things will be.
Yeah.
What about you, Jane?
Patreon.com/StonedMonkeyRadio, as little as $1 a month helps all the things happen, including this very show. You can find me also on Humans Holler at News, where we talk about news, funnily enough. Usually bears. There's so many cute bear stories, and they just need to be talked about. And we aim to get 2 of those a month up, so yeah, give that a listen if you fancy. Laura!
Yeah?
Will you sing us out, please, darling?
Until next time, be a stranger.